missing many neighbors. We're not missing many neighbors.
No.
I'll have to go ahead and tell Lori she missed a meeting.
Oh,
The school teacher that lives next to you. What are we having? Oh. You ready? And you sat down.
no.
My new reality.
We gotta call a meeting, dude.
I'd like to call the meeting to order. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
There's places. Is it?
And it's time for a roll call.
Righty, good evening, everyone. Councilmember Kelly.
Present.
Councilmember Turner.
Here.
Councilmember Perkins.
Here.
Councilmember Mendoza.
Here.
Councilmember Best.
Here.
Vice Mayor Miller.
Here.
And Mayor Croft.
Here. Introductions, presentations, and proclamations. We have none, so we'll go on to call to the public. Call to the public is an opportunity for the public to address the council on any issue within the jurisdiction of the council that is not on the agenda. Public comment is encouraged. Individuals are limited to speak for 3 minutes. The total time for call to the public will be up to 30 minutes per meeting. Council action taken as a result of public comment will be limited to directing staff to study the matter, scheduling the matter for further consideration, and decision at a later date, or responding to criticism. Do we have anybody that would like to speak on call to the public? Yes, ma'am. Please come up. Tell us your name. Will you put the time up, Town Clerk?
Am I on? Thank you. My name is Jean McFadden. I live on Grove. I've been at the P&Z meeting last year and this year. I just want to reiterate some of the things that we talked about, that we object to the Brook Apartments. We've gone from 99 to 198 units to 152. Those 152 apartments are 1, 2, 3, and 4 bedroom apartments, 2 and 3 story. It's just an awkward place to put it, and it will crowd people down at the bottom of our cul-de-sac, and it will affect our neighborhood. Another point I'd like to bring up is that shortly before the P&Z meeting of October 1, we came across a website for Brook Apartments that offered tours and solicited people for potential tenants. And at that point, it said, contact us for a tour. Brook Apartments coming soon. This is a screenshot taken on the 30th of September, okay? When we brought this up at the October 1 meeting, 2 days later, this is what was on the website. We are currently in a planned area development, PAD, phase of this project. So I thought they were advertising for tenants before they had the council's approval to go forward with this project. And I thought that was at least unethical. So I wanted to bring that point forward. Another issue I had is during that October 1 meeting, planner Alex Lerma was talking about the conditions that P&Z was asking of the developer. And during that conversation, when he was reviewing all of that, he said conditions 5, 6, 7, and 8 were still being negotiated. And again, I thought that's putting the cart before the horse. Why would you bring forth something that wasn't completely negotiated? So I object to that. And that's about, I cannot tell you how strongly we are against these apartments for any number of reasons that you can see on the video and additional reasons that you will hear tonight. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Anyone else that would like to speak? Tom?
Hello, everybody. Tom Payne, Tom's Print and Sign. I received a notice today about the temporary signage meeting next Tuesday, and I appreciate that opportunity to listen to the council, which is a little bit different than what we've done in the past, and I'm kind of an old school guy. I miss some of the old days. Going through some of my history here, which isn't all that long ago, actually only 2016, this was the outreach of the town to the community for working on an ordinance. It's fantastic. There is all kinds of outreach to the business owners, the media, the courier, the chamber, an introductory meeting at P&Z, emails to all the business license holders in the community, an online survey, a Chamber of Commerce survey. And we just did this a few years ago where we have all this wonderful information from the people of the community. And now it's a little bit different. Now we're being asked to listen and to wait and see what the
Mayor, may I?
what
Sure,
y'all
go
come
ahead.
up with.
My apologies. That was my email to Lorette where I said, listen to the council, and she did that verbatim from what I said to her. And that was because I did not have a chance to ask the mayor if he was going to allow a lot of public speaking. So I at least wanted to invite the public here for the meeting. I just didn't know yet if they were going to be allowed
Are we
to have
talking about the
for
study
the sign
session?
meeting next week.
I will allow public speaking at the
Okay.
study
So
session.
my
on that
apologies
issue.
on how it was worded.
You don't need to apologize. I just want to come and find out, and I trust you. I trust you. I just wanted to make sure that the work that was done a few years ago and the surveys and the community outreach that we all did doesn't just get tossed. We worked really hard on it. You guys ask for input all the time. We got empty rooms. People don't come to council meetings. Things don't ever happen. And then when we do, and we put in a lot of time to not even look at some of that is a shame. There's a lot of great work that the staff has done in the past that outlines and lays out the history of this. I personally have been working on it since 2009 through 3 mayors and tons of town staff as it comes through. And to, you know, I'm thankful to hear that there will be an opportunity to have some input from the public. And thank you, Mayor. I know that you pushed for you know, a lot of that to happen, and I'm glad to have it cleared up. Thanks, Cecilia. I appreciate that.
All right.
Thanks, Tom.
Anyone else? Yes, ma'am. We are going to, this issue,
It's not me.
It's time to wake up.
this issue that you're talking about will probably be on the council agenda the next meeting. So if you want to hold your comments till then, that's fine too. But if you want to speak to it tonight, that's okay. Are we allowed to speak? You will be allowed to speak. I will allow comments next meeting on this issue. So you can either speak tonight, but it would probably be easier if you have spokesperson to speak for you, a couple of 3 people, and then be fresher tomorrow or next week. Next council meeting.
2 weeks.
In 2 weeks. So it's up to you. I just want to put it out there.
We're talking about different points on the same issue. So there might be other people that want to talk in the next.
Okay, we'll bring her up.
You're absolutely welcome
Come
to.
on up.
Thank you, sir. Mayor, or whatever. Your Honor.
I've been called a lot of things. Nothing new.
Mostly by me.
Mostly by my vice mayor here.
I'm talking about the Brook Apartments, rezoning the Brook Apartments parcel to allow for 152 units.
Excuse me, ma'am. What is your name?
Oh, I'm sorry. My name is Tina Harmon, Harmon.
Thank you.
rezoning the Brook Apartments parcel to allow for 152 units, which is a 52% increase from the 99 units provided for in the current zoning is ridiculous. To understand the impact, and I was a project manager working for Kroger's for a number of years. I was also involved in procurement, so I'm used to doing things by the numbers. We must study understand the density in terms of bedrooms rather than a vague term being units, to know how many people will be living on the 6.85 acres. The previous plan of 1 to 2 bedrooms allowed for 288 bedrooms. The updated plan of 1 to 4 bedrooms allows for the target allows for 316, which is a 10% increase in the amount of bedrooms used. And to me, I would equate this to how many people are going to be out there. I researched various real estate websites which stated the income of the targeted renter, the more people are on there. So if their income level is high, they don't use all their bedrooms, they use it for other purposes. With the density proposed, the income will be low and people density will be high. Per acre density is 22 units per acre, or at least 46 people per acre. And that allows for 1 person per bedroom. And I think that's conservative. I currently am challenging the number of units quoted by Alex in the last P&Z meeting, because I calculated the per acre 152 divided by 6.85, which is 22, not the number that Alex had stated. The plan touts the lot is only 20.1%. If you look at the plan, and here's the plan, there is approximately 80% build if you include asphalt. To me, that's part of the build, not just where the building is. I do not consider this an improvement.
You need to wind up, please.
Okay. Well, the MR1 zoning is intended for the purpose to buffer the adjacent 1 acre or more properties in the commercial zoning. The zoning challenge allows for an additional 53 units, which is not an improvement. Look at the buildings proposed. They look more like
You need to wind up,
institutions
please.
rather than commercial.
We may have other people that want to speak.
Miss Harmon, right here.
Yes.
Please come back in 2 weeks and finish. Each person's only allotted 3 minutes to speak at call to the public. So if you can
Thank
come
for
back.
bringing that up.
Yeah.
I do have more to talk
Yeah,
about.
come back in 2 weeks for that.
We are gonna, I'm
I
gonna
wanna hear
allow
you.
half an hour at the next council meeting for you all to bring your comments. You'll have 3 minutes to speak. So whatever you're saying tonight will probably be lost in the dust for 2 weeks. You really need to do it at the council meeting, because we can't make a decision tonight. And then you'll have an opportunity to speak. So, yes, ma'am. Sure, come on up.
My name is Dean Nixon, and I live on Grove. And I want to mainly just kind of bring a little experience of what happened to my husband and I upon our retirement. We lived in an apartment for a little while.
Can you pull the microphone down? Thank you.
We lived in an apartment when we were first married, but within 3 years, we had our own home, and the changes, of course, were made as life goes along. And before we were ready, we were the retired senior citizens. And we made a change, and we moved to a street, an area that we were well familiar with and knew that we would be happy living there. And it had a one-story, mind you, just one building, one-story building for senior citizens. And it was, many of them were disabled. And they had a beautiful patio, trees, landscaping, and it all worked out just fine with our community and our neighborhood. It fell into place just perfect. But there came a time when, according to the law, the young disabled were allowed to live there because senior citizens were disabled, so therefore it was a disabled area. But keep in mind that this was not disabled veterans. It was young men that was disabled due to drugs, drinking, and soon their friends, the ones that were able to rent there, their friends moved in with them or were staying with them. And very shortly, after a little while, we had to close our window blinds, lock up our garages early because we never knew that someone was walking the streets all time of the night. And the patio, the beautiful patio, it became a parking lot for the police department to go knock on the doors for non-child support, stealing, and drugs. So therefore, my time's up, I guess.
Yes, ma'am, your time's up.
Anyway, what I'm trying to tell you is everybody tried to sell their homes, but they couldn't because of this neighborhood. It took us a year and a half. Well, I've got more to say, but I haven't got time. But I'm trying to get my point across that if someone isn't taking care of these places, our neighborhood stands a big chance of going downhill.
Okay. Thank you very much for your
Thank you.
comments. Yes, sir. Come right on up. Give us your name.
Hi, I'm Larry Holt, and I'm not here to talk about Grove Apartments this week.
You're a wonderful person. Thank you.
What I'm here to do is talk about our 911 memorial. On 9/11, I attended two different functions. One is at 547. I was out at our memorial taking photos of it.
Good.
Then that evening, I was at the healing fields in Prescott Valley. Night and day, folks, we need to step it up a whole lot. So I met with John Stankiewicz, who's currently the lessee for the Compass shooting facility. And I've talked to some of our city officials, including Chief Wynn, about getting a group of community citizens together in a community effort, going forward and cleaning up our memorial and making it something to be every bit as proud of as Prescott Valley is of their healing fields. So what I'm coming to the council tonight for is a request for the council, and I know you can't do it tonight because I'm on a public speaking forum, but for the council to give approval for us to go forward to make some improvements. What we'd like to do, or like to see done, is have a plaque placed out there memorializing it, a landscape cleanup with weed abatement and possibly some more rock brought in around it, some more just general landscaping. Perhaps being able to put some benches and a sunshade out over it and a level parking area. Beth Victory has already addressed the council regarding raising funds for the plaque, and we will support her 100% on that and work with her on that. Our request specifically is that working through Chief Wynn, where he will meet with either the council or our town manager to get everything approved to do so at no cost to the city or to the town, and that no modifications, major modifications such as putting in benches or anything else will not be done without the council's prior approval. And that's my presentation. Thank
Would you present that information to our town manager, and we'll
I
see?
think Chief Wynn has already spoken.
Can I
to
ask
her.
one question?
No.
It's gonna be in your response tonight that he's working with
Okay,
Larry Holton,
response tonight.
Compass
Go ahead.
Training.
What's the name when you say we? Who's we?
Right now, it's John Stankiewicz and myself that are just setting it up. We didn't want to take any formal steps as far as forming something together formally until we have approval. We do have a website up that just states what we want to do,
Okay.
but until we get approval, we're not taking any steps forward.
Okay.
I can tell you that my son is the Vice Commandant for the Marine Corps League, so they'll be involved with it. The American Legion will be involved with it. I'm part of a large retired law enforcement community group, and we'll be involved with it.
Okay, thank you.
And
Thank
I've
you.
got a response
Thank
here
you,
and a
Larry.
response to the public tonight, too.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else? Yes, ma'am. Yeah, sure, come on up. Got 3 minutes. And I'm going to put a little shoot there at 3 minutes. You're going to disappear down.
Hi, my name's Cindy Cole. I live on Grove. We're going back to Grove.
Okay.
I'm a licensed insurance producer in Arizona. I have my PNC, my business, commercial. Been doing this for over 25 years. I worked catastrophe duty on Hurricane Katrina. So I guess with these apartments, one of my big concerns is I can't justify one exit, one entry. We're probably not going to have a hurricane here in Arizona. We do have monsoons. We have lightning. We have a lot of wind. We had tornadoes down in Cape Creek. Bottom line, what I'm trying to say is when there is something happen, you got your first responders out there. Your first responders are going to be blocking that driveway. They're going to be coming in. They're going to be leaving. The people in the apartments are going to be stuck there. I've seen that in Katrina. Cars don't move. Right now, so that's for the concern for the people in the apartments. But one of my concerns for the people in the apartment too is the children. There's no playground. Where are they going to play? There's animals. Where are they going to be walked? I have a coworker who lives in an apartment, and she walks her dog. She says the majority of tenants have dogs. They walk them. She says they all go across the street to the church. They walk the dogs in the church on their lawn. My coworker is one of the good ones. She picks up after her dog, but she said you have to watch where you step because the majority of people don't. So again, one of my questions is, we have wind here. We have wind. There's going to be dog waste from these apartments. There's the trash cans, the stench from that. We don't have this on our street right now. Road 2 North, my opinion is right there by Walgreens is one of the dangerousest streets there are. We have a stoplight there. There's more accidents there than I see anywhere in Chino. We had 2 just yesterday before 11 o'clock. The first one was right in front of Walgreens, right there on 2. The next one was right down just a few streets at Butterfield. We have a stoplight there. We're having more accidents there than any place else here. We have an elementary school down the road. I don't see and I don't justify 300 more cars there. Another thing with the apartments, they're talking so many spaces for parking. What about visitor parking? That's not even allocated in there. Two new articles in the Courier this morning. The first one is titled, "Can we save our shared declining water supply?" In here, they even have it, mind-blowing with an exclamation point, because that's how our water table is going down. And then also somebody wrote in, more on water. His first statement is, water is scarce. This is just today.
Your time is up, please.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. I know that's frustrating. I'm sorry. So if you're going to make a presentation next week, try to get it into 3 minutes. We'd appreciate it. Anyone else that'd like to speak? Hearing none, we'll go on to response to the public. A is comments regarding a project to make improvements to the 9/11 monument at the entrance to the town shooting range, which Mr. Holt discussed. The police department has long sought to improve the 9/11 monument at the entrance to the shooting range, but unfortunately time and resources have not allowed that to happen. It is very exciting that we now have several citizens and groups interested in taking this on as a project. Ms. Beth Vickery has offered to collect donation to purchase and install a plaque. She's already got me for $20, so it's working, which will provide information about the monument. Beth showed us this year with her summer kids programs at the library that she has skills and determination to make this project a success. We have also been in contact with Mr. Larry Holt and Compass Training Center, who are also interested in helping with improvements to the monument site, as well as seeing it maintained in the manner it deserves. The police department will coordinate the efforts as well as review and approve the planned improvements. Council will be updated as the project processes. That's from Chief Wynn, the police department.
Larry, I think you can pick a name now.
Pardon?
I said I think Larry can pick a name now.
Good. Thank you, Larry. We appreciate you helping us. Okay, let's go on to the second item. Comments regarding a proposed apartment complex project application that was to go before the Planning and Zoning Commission on October 1st, 2019. And Mr. Cook will come up and to the response to that.
Mayor, members of the council, good evening. I've been asked to read the response to you from staff regarding the comments that were made at call to the public at the September 24th, 2019 meeting. They are as follows. The previous application was not brought to council for a vote as it was withdrawn after the Planning Commission meeting. The general zoning surrounding and in the near vicinity of the subject property is not all SR1. There is to the north heavy and light commercial, agriculture, and multifamily. To the south is the single family residential 1 acre minimum. To the east you have commercial and light and heavy, as well as agriculture. And to the west you have single family residential 2 acre minimum along with commercial and agriculture. No data can be found to corroborate the statistic of 334 vehicles. Single family developments are required to provide a minimum of 2 spaces per dwelling unit. That's for single family dwellings, which would, if that was a statistic used, then it would calculate out to 304 vehicles. Multifamily developments, not just in our community, but many around the nation, calculate multifamily dwelling parking requirements at 1.5 vehicles. This would put the number of vehicles closer to 228. There's no fire safety issue with regard to a single entrance. The fire district has stated in previous comments that multifamily developments that will utilize sprinklers need 1 entrance if they have fewer than 200 units. Also of note, the fire district has at least 2 apparatus that can accommodate the 35 foot height. Bicycle lanes and sidewalks on Road 2 North are not this developer's sole responsibility. In order to place an exaction on a property or developer, there needs to be a rational nexus for such cost. This will be evaluated, and the amount of the improvements required of this developer will be set accordingly. The developer of the project has made 0 claims as to the price, point the development will target, nor whether it will be Section 8 or not. This is not relevant with regard to the zoning aspect of the property and cannot be placed as a stipulation of approval as it is. The relevant arguments for the PAD zoning revolve around whether the applicant has exceeded the development standards and provided amenities enough to warrant an increase in density. This property already has the zoning necessary for apartments, including 3 stories. As the site has the entitlements for multifamily currently, without the PAD process, it is staff's professional opinion that we should work with the applicant to minimize the impact through increased landscaping, setbacks, screening, and amenities, which is allowed through the flexibility of the PAD process. This is staff's
Thank you
report.
very much. Appreciate it. Okay. That concludes response to the public. Let's move on to current events, summaries, and reports. This item is for information only. The mayor, any council member, or town manager may present a brief summary or report of current events. If listed below, there may also be a presentation on information requested by the mayor and council. Questions may be answered. No action will be taken. I don't have anything. Do any of you have anything?
I do not.
Not at this time.
Okay, let's go on to town manager, Cecilia Gritman.
Sure. Jamie, can you bring up the picture? So I want to announce that this week we finally have pickleball courts in Chino Valley. And here's a picture of them over on the basketball courts that are behind the community center. And we still have two working basketball courts at the same time. So these are temporary. We can take them down when they're not using them. They just slide together and get put away when they're not being used. And I want to thank Scott and the Pickleball Association for getting this going. I don't know what they're called specifically. And I also want to mention that Scott Bruner had reached out to Fan Contracting, who has an employee group that does donations through their salary, and then Fan matches it, and they do projects throughout the community, and they like to do things for nonprofits. And he asked them about doing the parking lot at the community center for the Boys and Girls Club, which they have agreed to do. And apparently Councilmember Mendoza has been working to get us the milling, so want to thank people for getting behind that project, and we're hoping to have that done in the next couple months to get all that rolled together as well. Next Tuesday we have a study session at 5 p.m. Again, it's going to be early. We have a lot of things on the agenda. We will start out with the discussion on the temporary signs, because we will have public here, and that way people can get their comments, and we'll probably limit that part to an hour, and because we've got about 5 or 6 items on the study session. And but we can bring it back later for further discussion if need be, but maybe we can get something moving after next week's discussion. So thank you.
Thank you. Next item, item C, presentation of Key to the Town to Chino Valley resident Jordan Ownby, 2019 Miss Rodeo, Arizona. Would you come on down, please?
Yeah, so I'm going to read her bio. So we'd like to present Jordan Ownby. She's earned the title of the 2019 Miss Rodeo, Arizona in August of 2018 in Payson, Arizona, at the 60th anniversary of the Miss Rodeo, Arizona pageant. She is a 22-year-old daughter of Chad and Dana Ownby and is proud to call small-town Chino Valley, Arizona her home. Jordan is a graduate from Chino Valley High School and has since earned her Associate of Arts with a course emphasis in agriculture from Yavapai College. Jordan was lucky enough to have been raised around horses in the agricultural lifestyle, competing in AQHA, 4-H, FFA, and the Arizona High School Rodeo Association. Her long-term involvement in the industry is what sparked her interest in being an ambassador for the sport of rodeo. She began at her hometown rodeo, the Prescott Frontier Days, world's oldest rodeo, then moved on to win the coveted title of the 2017 Miss Turquoise Circuit. She now represents the Grand Canyon State as Miss Rodeo, Arizona 2019. December 1st through the 8th, Jordan will be competing at the national level for the very prestigious title of Miss Rodeo America 2020. She will be heading to the bright lights of Las Vegas, Nevada. During this time, other state queens from all around the country will join to compete for the sought-after title. The girls will be judged during the week-long pageant on horsemanship skills, public speaking skills, interview skills, and more. Jordan is having a Miss Rodeo America send-off celebration at the beautiful Mortimer Farms on Saturday, October 19th at 4 p.m. That event is open to all, and the price is $10 a ticket at the door and includes dinner. Jordan feels blessed to have the opportunity to travel across the state and even the country this year representing Arizona in the sport of professional rodeo. Please come and cheer our local Arizona girl on. We're proud of you, Jordan.
Wow. You're a very impressive young lady, and we're so proud to have you here to present the Key to the Town. So, and wear that with pride, please. Thank you for what you do, and here's a card and a town pack. You have succeeded a lot, and you're very energized and energetic person, and I see that you're taking part in it for their education and doing the things you do. We salute you. Thank you. And then I'm going to give you a minute.
Well, thank you all so much for having me. That's really nice to be out here and be a part of my community. And I had no idea I was going to get a key, so I'm super excited. Yeah, like she said, I'm a Chino Valley girl. I'm a Chino Valley High School graduate. I graduated from Yavapai College. I've lived here 6 years now, and I'm really, really proud to call Chino Valley my home. And everywhere I go, I tell people where I'm from, and A lot of people don't know at first, but you better believe I tell them. And I'm really excited. It's been a long, long time since anybody from even Yavapai County has been Miss Rodeo Arizona. So to be here from our area, I'm super excited to represent not only rodeo in the state of Arizona, but even on more of a local scale right here in Chino. So thank you for having me, and I'm super excited. And again, my Miss Rodeo America send-off dinner is October 19th. I will leave a few flyers in the back if that's okay.
Yes, please.
And a few cards if you need to get a hold of me, but it's just $10 to get in. It's at Mortimer Farms, and it's a fundraiser to get me to Miss Rodeo America and compete there on the national level, which I'm super excited for and getting ready to go do that. So if you're interested in coming, I'll leave some stuff on the back, and thank you again.
Yeah, it is.
Good job, Mama. I know, right? We miss your store, Dana.
Okay, let's go on to report
No.
regarding water fill station upgrades. Is that
Mike Boulay.
Mr. Bouvet? Come on up here.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. It's a joy to be here this evening. It's always good to be here, let you know the progress we're making in the utility department. As you all know, I think, let's see, do I advance this or? Oh, there. Oh, my finger's too touchy. As most of you know, we do have a public water fill station that's located behind Walgreens, actually at 480 West Road 2 North. You have a picture of it there. I'm sure a lot of you have seen it over the years. It's been there for quite a few number of years, and we've been starting to have some deficiencies there, and we found the need where we need to upgrade this. Currently, we have 138 customers that use this water fill station. As you can see on the slide, I did break it down to what residents there are. There's 32 town residents. 70 of them are from county residents. And then we have 36 other accounts, which is mostly construction companies, water haul companies, a lot of people from Prescott Valley, Phoenix, a couple from California. Anyway, we are limited to the 200 accounts. Right now we're at 138. Also, the current system does require billing, so every month our finance department is burdened with the billing of these customers. Like I say, the system is rather old. We bought it used quite a few years ago, so we have been having some inaccuracies, and we do have intermittent software issues out there. So anyway, I've done some homework to try to upgrade the system because we do have the need. So the new system that I'm looking at, we're going to switch to a system coming up here in October 31st, hopefully. It is the Aquaflow International system that is founded and located in Flagstaff, so it is a local company. This company does have several hundred of these units around the world, actually. So they have been proven and tried and true on this. What it is a internet cloud base, which would give us unlimited amount of customers. The customers would prepay using their credit card. They can use a computer or smartphone, put money onto their account. With the interface that you see here, they'd enter their account numbers and a PIN number, and they'd be able to get their water. It eliminates our need to bill. Also, another big advantage of like some of the water haulers that have multiple drivers, one account can have several users with different PINs, so everybody can keep their track of what drivers are getting what amount of water. Like I say, it does eliminate the monthly billing, and the upgrade is a reduced cost compared to if we did a complete system. It'd cost closer to $50,000. What we're doing here is quite a bit less than that, and it's actually budgeted and under budget. So I just want to inform all of you that we are upgrading this, and I think our customers will be happy.
Questions?
No real questions. We had a meeting earlier. We discussed this. Just to specify when he mentioned 200, we are limited to 200 people. That's with our additional or the existing software that we've got.
Yes.
So going to this, it will give us the ability to go unlimited. The new system is not, it's not supported. It's almost like the car you can't get parts for type of thing, so it's time to get this done.
Anybody over here? Thank you very much,
Thank you very
Mike.
much.
Appreciate it. Sounds good. Let's do it.
Thank you.
Okay, let's go on to item E, report regarding the 2020 general election and candidate packages. Ms. Lewis.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Uh-oh, somebody left their glasses up here. I understand that now. I've been asked to just give a couple of pertinent dates about the upcoming general election. Well, it's almost a year away, but next August we will be having our general primary election, and as you know, that is every other year we hold an election to put council members on the ballot to get you all filled up. And we have already been receiving requests for candidate packets, and people are wanting to know when the dates are and all that. So basically, candidate packets, we're going to have those available November 1st. And there are some new laws, quite a few new laws associated with the process for the candidates. So anybody who is interested can come pick up a packet from November 1 onward, and they will need to file something called a statement of interest. It doesn't mean they have to run, but that way we can get all the pertinent information we need to keep in touch with them throughout the process. And then for those who are interested in actually filing, once you pick up your packet and file the statement of interest, they can start collecting signatures. But the filing period for all of the pertinent paperwork, the signatures, the nomination papers, campaign finance stuff, is from March 9th to April 6th. So it's just a 30-day period when people can file to actually get on the ballot. So are there any questions about that?
And how many positions are going to be open on the council?
Your position and then 3 council members.
Okay.
3 council seats.
If you're interested in local government, this is your opportunity to jump in there and
Get started.
Get
rich. Yeah, right.
But I advise you to talk to one of your council people before you jump in with both feet. It's not an easy. There's a lot of stuff.
That's a good idea. And then I also request that anybody that's interested make an appointment, because there's I don't like to just hand out the packets, because there's a lot of legal stuff in there that is really important to go over. Sit down, take 30 minutes or so to talk to people to go over what's in the packet.
Okay.
Alrighty?
Okay. Questions on either side?
Not here.
Okay, thank you.
Been there, done that.
Yeah.
A few
Yeah.
times. Been through it a few times.
Okay, let's go to consent agenda. Anybody wants to pull anything off the consent agenda?
No, sir.
Do I have a motion to approve?
I make a motion that we approve consent agenda items 6A, B, and C as written.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Item 7, action items. The council may vote to recess the public meeting and hold an executive session on any item on this agenda pursuant to ARS 38-431-03A3 for the purpose of discussion or consultation for legal advice with the town attorney. Executive session are not open to the public. No action may be taken in executive session. Item A, consideration and possible action to provide direction to staff regarding proposed improvements at the Old Hometown Manor Business Park. Mr. Marbury is our Public Works Director, Town Engineer, and he's going to...
Thank you, Mayor, Council. This arose out of the study session last month. So wanted to bring some numbers to you concerning Old Home Manor Business Park. The slide you're looking at here is a conceptual layout that EPS Group did for the town a year or two ago. And again, it's just conceptual, it can change. But we kind of use this to look at what we've got for water and sewer to refresh folks what we put in with the grant. Along the left side of the road here, we have water and sewer now available for this area. We've got water up to Rodeo, which is this road right here, and then a sewer line that was put in with that grant, along with some road improvements. There's power at the site, fiber optics at the site. There is no natural gas in the area. So if we go, I wanted to show you some rough numbers here, and I'm not sure if we want to go ahead and skip ahead to what we talked about in the utility committee or not. So maybe rely on the utility committee, see if they want me just to maybe go. There was a little bit different recommendation that we discussed in the utility committee. So do we want to just go ahead and save some time and talk about that one?
Yeah, I think so. I think we can just move forward to what we came up with at the end of the meeting.
So I've got some options here that show some money, and just to show the big ones to do, I had an option one. You're looking at $3 million, a little bit more, $5 million, and a cheaper one at 2.7. But what it boils down to that we discussed in the utility committee was to try and save even more money. Rodeo Drive here is maybe just improve this. It's about 700 feet to this intersection's only on paper. It's not there right now, but to do road improvements that would make it look like the business park and put water and sewer and extend those to this first intersection there to allow a little bit more opportunity for development of this in the future, and kind of stop the utilities right there at this point. So just without having the numbers in front of me, I'd like to take time to come back with those numbers at council. It's probably going to be in the $2 million range, maybe a little over. And you need to recognize that a large chunk of that is getting the natural gas to the site, because that's a big chunk. It's over by the community center, I think, so it would have to be extended all the way out Perkinsville Road. So in a nutshell, what I'd like to do is refine these numbers with maybe the option the utility committee recommended and bring that back to council to see if we want to move forward with looking at doing the engineering work and possibly creating a project out of it. Is that in a nutshell?
No, I think just as we discussed in the committee meeting, was that gives us the opportunity to not be restricted to certain size lots, rather than bringing the road south right now, since we do not know exactly who may be coming in, who may have an interest. But yet it gets us an entrance to it. It gets our power there. So if we get business that comes in that's interested in coming into the industrial park, we're able to have a place ready for them to build.
Any other comments?
I'd like to kind of give a little overview of why we are doing the Old Home Manor out here. You know, Chino was established a long time ago, and unfortunately, we have a hodgepodge of zoning, and we've had interest tonight, you know, bringing some of these issues, you know, right up to us. So what this council is doing is trying to develop areas that are away from residential, and hopefully start manipulating the town a little bit better and kind of maybe cleaning up some of these zoning problems that we have. And it's going to be a long, hard road to, just because Chino is so broke up. So this is an effort of what this council is doing.
Mayor?
On this, having sat in on that meeting, the bottom line, by getting the water and sewer out to a point, we have something for a potential client to build on, rather than having to spend it later in a react instead of react, that old concept.
I'm good.
You know, the reason that we probably started this industrial park was jobs. We do not have any medium salary jobs here in Chino Valley. All our money goes to Prescott Valley and other places. Pardon? Oh. So we need some jobs here, and this is a good start. If we can get some mid-sized manufacturers in here, we'll be able to keep some of our money in town the way we'd like to do. And our kids come out of high school, there's no work for them. We need to provide some work for folks too. And we're gonna direct, assuming from what I hear, we're gonna direct you to go back and to take a look at it again based on the recommendation of the utility committee, and come back at a later date with.
Okay, the only question maybe is, do we want a study session or a regular council meeting, or
We can work
we
out
can
that
work that
detail
out?
later, but I
Yeah,
think we
probably a
also
study
wanna try,
session, but we'll wait and see.
we
I
also
think
wanna
it's
try
best
and
in a
keep,
study
keep
session.
the improvements in what we have budgeted. We're gonna try
Yeah.
and make sure we do that as well, so.
Yeah, I think it best fits the study session, so we
Okay.
can sit and discuss it.
Okay.
Probably
And
next
we'll-
month or a month
Yeah,
after.
I'll work with my town manager and bring that back to you.
Okay, great.
Or
Thank you.
the
Thank
staff
you.
will.
Thanks, Utilities Committee, for your work.
Thank you, Mayor.
Okay. Our next step is called executive session. Council may vote to recess the regular meeting, hold an executive session, which will not be open to the public for the following purposes. An executive session pursuant to ARS 38-431-03A4 for discussion or consultation with attorneys for the town regarding a potential intergovernment agreement with the city of Prescott relating to water services.
I make a motion, we move into executive session.
We have a motion.
Second.
Do we have a second? We have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
We are going to executive session. I don't know when we'll be back.
7, 6, 3, 2, 4, 7, 9, 10.
All right, we have adjourned from executive session, and we're back in regular session, and I need a motion.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned. Thank you very much.